with the Shaman. I'm your host, Shaman.
It sounded so funny. We're live. Oh yeah, we're live, baby. Sorry. The way you said it, or the way I heard it was just like, we're
Yeah,
live.
I know. It's one of
Sorry,
them.
welcome everyone.
Hello. Welcome back here. I'm your host, Shaman Odin Grey Wolf, and I'm here live with. Uh oh. We got an echo. Where is that?
One moment, we're fixing technical problems here.
Yeah. So it's a wonky day, I can tell so far. And it would be since today we're going to talk about spiritual protection and energy work. Um, I was having this week has been really whoa for me, and it took a little bit of reminding. And thanks for my sister to remind me yesterday about the spiritual defense. And yeah, I was lagging. One of those things, if you don't keep up with it, you can empathically absorb energy very quick. So before we get too far, let Jamie introduce herself. Hello, Jamie.
Hi, I'm Jamie Jette with Stargate Sound Medicine. Um, yeah, it's been quite an amazing journey and quite an amazing month. Um, I'm also, I facilitate a grieving, or even if you've lost a job, a pet, a beloved, a friendship. Um, for 3 years now, on Mondays at the Center for Spiritual Living on Rancho, it's just an hour and a half, and we do some breath work. We sit in silence for a few minutes. We journal. I love the best part of it. There's no politics, no cross talking. We're not there to fix anyone. Sometimes I call it we're just the Woodstocks that just sit and listen while Snoopy gazes at the stars. That's what we do. And then, yeah, and then I'm the supporter for my husband's business of Uniting Wellness. We have a pop of raising the vibration one soul at a time, and it doesn't matter if it's through amino acids or energy work or just sitting by a fire and shooting shit. That's what we
Yeah,
like. So anyway, thanks, John, for letting me be here.
absolutely. Thanks for coming. And I love how you said that. Sometimes sitting around a fire shooting the shit is the best medicine you can have. It's nothing like connecting with each other. So before we get too far, or before we get started, I want to just say something, an interesting occurrence that happens all the time, but last night it was really a back and forth conversation with the other side, okay? So these mason jars, they have a little pop. If you push down on the top and then open it, they pop, right? Well, a lot of times I have them all up on my shelves because I have herbs and tinctures and concoctions and spirit buster sprays all sitting in my solution jars. And when we have some kind of synchronicity, I'll hear those pops. Like something will be like, hey, pay attention. So last night I was doom scrolling through the Amazon Prime looking for a movie, and I came across one that looked kind of interesting, and that thing went pop. And I said, okay, so is this the movie you want me to watch? Pop. So so it's kind of normal for me. If you knew me and my ex-wife, this was like things like this are a normal everyday occurrence, and my children, they still have the same things. So anyways, I turned it on, and it was a movie about a magical agency that is the influencers of humanity, right? So every sign and synchronicity and magical act or coincidence or star-crossed lovers meeting each other or long lost family was this magical agency. And in the movie, I don't remember what it was called. I'm sorry for punning the movie and not knowing what it's called, but it was really interesting that we had an actual back and forth conversation with spirit as they were popping my jars, oops, to let me know, yes, I want you to watch this movie. And as I was watching the movie, it was really impactful. It's like, even as to where when I went to bed, I went to lay in bed, and on my side table, I had a shirt folded up. Well, as soon as I laid in my bed, something started pulling that shirt off of my side table, and I'm like, all right, look, that's enough. I'm going to bed now. That's enough. So, just a little talk about how the spirit world is always with us. You know, you might have random little pop occurrences that let you know that somebody's there with you. Um, some people, it freaks us out. It used to freak me out when I was young, but as you get older, you just get used to it and you start talking with them. So never doubt that your spirit team is with you at all times. All
Oh
right.
yeah. It's almost like as if the more we're going into the century, the more they're hungry or coming front and center. I mean, some of us have had experience, a dabble here, a dabble there, 20 years ago, 40 years ago, and we're like, oh yeah, no, yeah, I must be seeing things. But now it's so much in our face. Those who are tuning in, I just, all your viewers, I invite them to just maybe write it down, even if you have a calendar, a click, the refrigerator ringing, a hummingbird that keeps coming, birds that keep wanting to come in the house. Those are super, super signals. Also, being clairsentient, I'm now embracing this. And I've been smelling scents for about 15 years now. And so there's been floral ones. I don't smell roses, but they're very different. And there's some flowers that I can't describe. So I talked to one of my medium friends last night, and I said, I don't know what's going on. And yes, we've smelled cigars. Yes, we've smelled cigarettes. Yes, those are spirits. The electrical. Someone told me years ago that the spirits like to talk through the electrical fluorescent lights at the stores in
Yeah.
because it's a way for them to signal through. I don't know how it is, but I really invite your viewers to just start tuning in,
Yes.
because I'm telling myself after our ceremony on Sunday, they're here. I don't know. I know I sound so wackadoodle,
Not
but
at
I'm telling myself when someone else heard what I was hearing and they heard it too, I was like, "Oh my gosh." And then Katie, hearing the orchestra, and I kept saying, "The orchestra of souls is here," and they're so pleased because we had about 15 their workers. We're all healers. Whether we know it or not, whether we
yes.
accept it or not, we are the healers. So they were there getting fed. That's what Katie and I do. We help you to receive because you're giving to the community so much. Well, I'll be darned. It was a crazy day. And they're here. They're not informed for some of us. Thank you, Jesus, because I don't think I can handle it. I do have friends who they'll be talking to me and they're looking beyond me. And I know they're seeing something and they're like, yeah, I'm having a conversation right now. And I'm like, oh, doesn't that creep you out or scare you? And no, I guess you get used to it. So once you start writing on a calendar of perhaps you'll the minute now that we've said it, the two of us have, or two or more have gathered and speak the word, somehow it goes out there.
That's
I don't
right.
know the quantum physics of it, but all of a sudden, and that's part of learning to have a relationship beyond the 3D, because we really are evolving. There is no question about it. You can see what happens when you can see the chaoticness on the planet. And you know why? Because there's so much energy thrown into the pool of light that's creating all this awful blinding mud. You cannot see in the mud.
No.
Not even if you have goggles, not even if you have special equipment, you cannot
That's
see through the stirred up mud. So I really know that I really, that's why I want to help people to feel safe and comfortable that we are so supported, man. But we have to ask, and that's crazy too. So maybe writing it and asking, so what is it you want me to know? What is mine to do? Little simple things like that.
Well, that's like working with the Goetia and the Notoria. A lot of people expect these real Ash versus the Evil Dead type of experiences to happen, where most of the time it's divination. You communicate with them through tarot cards, through, like you said, channeled writing. Intuitive writing is just writing what you feel. And how you said they're always here and you can ask for your help. There are things when we get into spiritual protection, um, unless, okay, so you hear how I got little things that happen all the time, right? I don't consider it a haunting. So I don't really feel like I need spiritual protection all the time. But I forget about the mundane world. I forget about the empathic absorption. And it's not so much the spirit world giving me a hard time, it's the spirits of the world, people, that we absorb their illnesses. And nothing to say like other people are bad or negative. So what happened is I was having a very heavy, draining week. It was only until me and my brother went to go watch the new Avatar movie that we started talking. And my brother is just like me, if not maybe some circumstances, higher communication with the other side as well. And we were talking, we were both picking up the same energy. And we go, wow. So even down to the smells, how you said clairsentient. There was a night that I was sitting in my couch, and I meditate as an energy practice. Meditation for me is multiple things I'll get into for a moment. But I was meditating and I smelled like I can only say a woman. It smelled really good, like new or clean clothes and some kind of floral scent. That same exact night, at the same exact time, my brother smelled my cologne walking by him when he was meditating. So it was a huge phenomenon where we finally figured out, okay, so there was something to those messages. What were we there to learn? What was to learn from it? And when we watched the Avatar movie, it was really interesting because they finally showed like what they do when they plug into Awa, when they plug into the spirit plants, right? They transfer into the spirit world where not only are the dead there, but also everyone that they are relations with, all their friends and family. They are in the spirit world at the same time with the passed on loved ones. And I told him, I says, that's what the meditation world for me is. That's what dream world for me is. When it depends on what I'm doing, but if I want to go to the other side and I meditate, I journey into the spirit world. And where the spirit world is, I can call upon my uncles, I can call upon my grandparents, I could call upon my brother, I could call upon Jamie, and she wouldn't know. She wouldn't know here unless she meditated at the same time and we were both simultaneously on the same link. But we can always call upon our ancestors, our spirit tribe, our family, for protection in meditation. That's one of the things I do as an energy practice is meditation. So when life gets too busy, you'll find me very angry or upset or unnerved because it's taking away from my energy practice of meditation. And so those are little things that I do. And I'll let Jamie talk about some of what she does before we get into more. Um, what do you do for energy practice and spiritual protection?
Well, I used to wear a lot of amulets. I wear a lot of crystals. I just listen to whatever I'm being called to. But I just learned recently that the more I shine my light, which is not my light, it is universal light, it is the golden light of all. If I just keep carrying that space anywhere I go, I am not going to, I don't need protection because nothing can penetrate it. Nothing. Now, when I forget to stop being that light and being, oh, my QHHT gal, Catherine Armand, she tells me, command my space. When I command my space, it's very interesting. So now I think it's easier for me when I see someone, I'm like, do you realize that you step back in time and thinking that you're going to have a different future by going back in time and repeating what you did? You came home with some kind of attachment. Hell, we can even go to the grocery store. And if there's somebody, you got to do theta, you got to push that energy away. So that's one of my protective practices. You can instantly feel it.
Yeah.
It's a breath, it's a scratch on your neck, it's a heavy, you just take and you protect your heart and you push that energy away. Um, Also gratitude, 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 gratitude. I say thank you. Like when we sage people, I say thank you for coming to the party, but you weren't invited. So this is, and I'll name the person's name aloud. This is their time. You are not allowed to cross over the threshold. And so that's when I turn and I request the archangels, their messengers, they know who they are for that particular person. And then
Yeah.
I say, thank you. Thank you with ease and grace. Just please deliver that into their heart or into their mind, what they are to know. So there's different ways. I used to be a sage person. I don't let anything in my home without saging it or blessing it.
Yeah.
Um, I'm really funny about that. And you can't blow your, did you know that when you sage, you can't blow your own breath? Because you're still
Uh,
putting your energy in. Yeah, you have, that's why you use a
the
feather.
feather.
Yes, or you just use the wind because you know when you move it, it moves. And then you don't ever put it out except back into Mother Earth.
Yeah.
You put spirit buried. I don't know if people know that. What other thing I do? I love to write thank you cards. That is a real energy filler for me. My bowls, I have the one from Shasta. She's been with me since 2012. And I call her a she because somehow we have a relationship where she's called to even be over people. And we had some comments this weekend that they actually asked if there's a um, third person in the room with Katie and I. And of course there isn't. It's just Katie and I. But
Yeah.
two of them actually felt as if hands were pushed on them. And I got to thinking, I thought, well, was it the Tibetan bowl or was it my Shasta bowl? And so wherever they had said, that's where the energy is. So the bowls, walking, God Almighty, just sitting down and the energy from the wind. We are part of it. We are part of this breath, Mother Earth, the ambiotic fluid of the universe. When we breathe that in, it's almost like it replenishes our energy. So as far as protection, my theta and just being the light and then reflecting. There's times where Bob and I'll go somewhere and oh my God, the next day we're having, I says, you know, we didn't say, sorry, you're not welcome.
Yeah.
But we're having such a grand time in the 3D dimension, we forget to light and we come down into the vibration of where we are. And
Right.
it feels so good and intoxicating. And
Yeah.
yet, thank goodness we have each other to remind. So I think it's important to have tribe or friends or like-minded people to remind you. Like I call people out, hey, what the hell are you doing? You
Yeah.
need you need to lift yourself up because you're on a mission. So anyway, thanks for asking. That's what I do. I'd be
Yeah.
curious to see what your viewers use for spiritual protection.
Yeah. If any of you put it in the chat room, um, I know sometimes too, like depending on what I'm dealing with, like if I'm dealing with a a darker entity, I'll do the lesser banishing ritual, which is just drawing a star in the direction of the energy you feel and pushing it away. Um, I will do a enclosure where you surround yourself in meditation. You just sit there and you visualize and feel. You try to feel an orb growing from within you out and around you. And once you get it as far as you can actually feel this orb around you, then you surround it with either white or silver light around that sphere. Those are, I think it's called cocooning, somebody told me, but I never called it that. I just called it silver lining. um, a lot of practices, it depends. I make little sprays. A lot of my work is the energy work to keep my spiritual protection up, help me channel and process if I am doing something. So if I'm not really working with my tools like grinding down sage into powder and creating different kinds of sprays and herbal remedies, if I'm not doing my alchemy, then my energy kind of gets a little weak because during the process, let's say when you're grinding down the herbs, yes, I'm putting my intentions into it and I'm saying blessings into it, but also I'm allowing my hands to take the attention off of my mind. And
Mm.
during that process, whatever is needing to be addressed will come up, will rise. So it's a form of meditation all in its own. You're grinding down or you're rolling the incense, making incense, or you're whatever you're doing, stirring the fluids. Um, During that process, listen to what your mind tells you. What arises in those moments? What's an irritant? Do you all of a sudden get frustrated during a certain at a certain point? What is the source of that problem? And I find that these things help me stay spiritually clean, like energetically clean from other people's influence, like we saw in the movie. There's a really heavy influence in our time because we are bombarded with information. Even if you didn't carry a cell phone and see all of the ding dong lights going off all around you every moment, you're walking amongst people. And it's like little seeds. When we plant seeds of good, there are also unconscious seeds that get planted in our mind of the negative. And we tend to not see that because we're not doing like Jamie, she does her singing bowls. And that I know from experience, I have a singing bowl back again now. I know that they do cleanse your energy as you go through because we do have to weed the garden from other people's attachments.
And I think that's why collectively, when we meet in small circles, while I'm talking, John, would you type in there that says what question? So what ideas do they what do they use for their so-called quote unquote protection? And if they don't use protection, I mean, protection is saying that there's a fear. So it's a kind of a tricky situation when you think you're going to have to wear protection. So that's telling me when I step out that I don't live in a safe universe. I truly believe I live in a safe universe. That's what I just discovered. The more light that I remember that I am, there's nothing that's going to penetrate that.
Yeah.
Nothing, no darkness. It'll try to cover it, but I just know, and it's just kind of a practice because you said the key word, practice. And don't think we're all experts. We don't get up. What is it? Bob says an expert is a drip in a bucket. It's an expert. So we become, the more we practice, we start understanding the Layla, the dance of this magnificent world. And contrary to what, like John says, everything outside, oh my God, they're in an uproar. The sky is falling, the sky is falling. Oh, really? Come on. Instead, because it's almost like mob mentality, and it isn't the first time. And so there is scientific proof. It's just like with the sound, where it vibrates. And when I keep hearing the sky is falling, guess what's going to happen? The cells in my body, it's a quantum vibration, a frequency. My body's going to say, oh, holy shit, the sky is falling. No,
Yeah.
no, that's where you have to just almost, um, it's almost like play the kirtan or the beautiful music, blessed are we that
Yeah.
we get to walk on this ground. I mean, it's remembering. It's so simple. It's a simple word. It is probably one of the most difficult things as we, as human beings that have been conditioned up to this point to practice. Just
But
practice remembering.
even as you say, like a moth to the flame, where spiritual protection can be is because we do pick up attachments from other people. You go even if you're completely out of these loops, you go to the grocery store or you go to, and then like you said, the moth to the flame, they see the light, and it's always, it's not people, it's what's attached to people. So let's say somebody's carrying uh, some trauma from their life, and they're not dealing with it, they never did deal with it, right? That builds an egregore. An egregore is a spiritual entity. It's like a leech. um, and it's kind of similar to what we call as a collective. So in their lives, an egregore has attached to them from the connection of their soul and the trauma that happened to them and the person who gave them that trauma. But on top of that, the person who received trauma to want to give trauma, and going on and on and on. Generations back times, they will build these egregores. You could call them spiritual imps, you could call them leeches, dark entities. This is where we need protection. Like, just, and it could be simple. Carry a bagua, certain, keep some crystals in your pocket, cleanse when you come home. Because a lot of times, unless you keep that practice up, if you forget, like Jamie's saying, if you forget your cleansing, you forget your spiritual charms and talismans or whatever, you won't realize it until it's too late. That's kind of what happened this week with me. I didn't realize it until it was too late, and I was already down in it. I could feel the low energy. I could feel the, why am I doing this? What is going on? I didn't feel good. And I was reminded not only by Jamie, but by my brother. We both could remember there are archons that we pick up from others, and we have to keep an awareness of that to live in a spirit, especially if you focus your life. Like, let's just take the focus off of spiritual. Have you changed in your life? Were you once a drug addict and now you're sober? That can be an egregore, because all the people that knew the drug addict you and are still drug addicts, they have an opinion of how you are sober. So when they have an opinion of how you are sober, that's creating spiritual armies against you. Whether you believe in the spiritual or not, it's a spiritual change when you have changed your life for the better. And there is still entities that look at you. And I say entities because, like she says, I don't see a devil. I don't see a demon. I see people's energy, hatred, disgust, jealousy, envy, all of these things I see. And that is what turns into poison. And the natives would call it poison because it's like, not only is it those attachments that they want to place on you, it's also anything that they do that is obsessive is a poison. And poison spreads amongst people. You can rub shoulders with somebody who's smiling, might be a preacher, carrying a lifetime of entities and egregores with them. So that's where I find things like cleansing my home, telling my home thank you. This is something I made out of yerba santa and sage and lemon oil from our deserts here. And yerba santa creates a holy, sacred place. So the more you also create a holy, sacred place, the more you create that within yourself, the more negative people look at you. And they could be your best friend. They could be your best friend and most deepest hidden enemy. You're creating a sacred space, let's just say because it's your hobby. You just enjoy spiritual practices. There's nothing wrong with that. You enjoy meditating and praying and working with crystals and alchemy. There could be somebody that doesn't like that about you. And they're thinking about you because to them, this is woo woo. And they're just sending torpedoes your way. Oh, yeah, this person thinks they're so light and love and that. And so these are things we've got to take into understanding. People are the demons. And when we live a spiritual life, we light this beacon of light and it becomes a target.
Talking, I have a come clean. I have a come clean, and there's not too many people know. I do a lot of practice because I figured that the world is full of all the different trees and flowers and things. Why not? I remembered I've been a very big practitioner of feng shui, uh, probably since 81. And somebody who comes to Shangri-La will know that. But I do sweep my porch
Oh,
front, and I sweep my porch at least once a week. And I sweep it and say, thank you for coming. But I want to say thank you for the many blessings that are making their way to my front door. That's one.
yeah.
And then one I do, and you don't even know this one, John. I learned mirrors reflect back what someone might be pointing to me. And let me tell you, this is my first rodeo. I have had a lot of people that don't like me. I already know it. I'm not stupid.
Yeah.
But with that, I still have a mission I signed up for on this planet. So I have a bagua mirror that's about 12 inches on the floor in my bedroom. And I have two daggers facing the west to where I think that they're coming from. So I have that protection. I've had that about 4 years, and Bob he just lets me do me. But if it makes me feel good subliminally and subconsciously, I he allows me to do it. So that's another practice that you didn't know I do. I also I protect my spiritual finances. I have bagua mirrors over every toilet in my home. No, it's not a camera. No, I'm not watching you go to eliminate. It is because my understanding is it draws the energy back up instead of all my finances going down the drain. So I have 3 bathrooms that have mirrors over the toilet. What other one? Those are things you didn't know I do, but I'm a really big firm believer in mirror work and mirror
Yeah.
protection reflects off of you.
So you haven't been to my apartment yet, and I'll tell you the shamanic practice about this too. I have a long stand up mirror that you would stand in front of right here on my back wall, directly in line with my front door. So if somebody walks in the mirror, and a negative entity, okay, let's just, not everybody is understanding of the spiritual aspect of it. Let's say a narcissist. If you hold a mirror to a narcissist, they will run because they're seeing their own ugliness. So it's the same in shamanic practices. A long time ago, I made my brother a big wooden medallion and we put mirrors on it. And because this is an actual practice, shamans will attach mirrors to some of their regalia and they'll dance around the fire to
Wow.
ward off all of the negative from the tribe. Oh my God. I just felt all that. And they ward off all the negativity of the tribe. So the same thing if you carried a little mirror on your, like if this was just a mirror and you walk around with that unconsciously, let's say somebody who doesn't like you walks up to you and you've got your mirror on, they're not going to know why, but they're not going to want to be negative. They're going to be fighting inside their internal brain, like, why is this? Like, I want to, but I can't. And then they have to deal with that, because mirror work is really important. I'm glad you said that.
Yeah. What else do I because I've been into the energy arts for a while, and I've been curious ever since I was about 18. I have different practices. Another one, when you do feel a lot of, it's not so much protection, it's a release, where if because we had an Airbnb, we've had almost 500 people in and out of our home since 2014. So that's a lot of energy, a lot. So um, we routinely cleansed. You could feel the energy, but I use a blue candle. I know at the psychic eye, they used to have all these different, and I know the pagan world, they use a lot of different colors for the candle, but someone told me um, that it was the blue candle to release that. And I just make sure that the window is open because I don't know how it works. And I'm thinking, well, life is just a petri dish anyway. So what have I got to lose? A blue candle and an hour's worth of my time? At least my mental intention is my intention, and that's where my attention is
That
going. My intention is my attention.
that's and the cleaning is a big thing. We call it limpia. My grandparents called it limpia, to clean your floors in your home. Even if you have all carpet, you usually vacuum. No, take a broom across your floors and sweep them towards the door and sweep it all out, and then take the mat at the door out and beat it on a tree and sweep that out and put it down. I do usually after we do our podcast on Tuesdays. That's what I do. I sweep from my bathroom, bedroom, kitchen, all the way through my living room, and then out the front door to clean out the dusty, because once dust settles, dusty spiritual energy, it's the same thing. It's just like having a cluttered space. If you have a cluttered space, you have a cluttered mind. And it is. If it's better for our mind, why not do it, right?
Yeah. I also carried, I guess I do a lot and I didn't realize it. I carry a little satchel everywhere I go. I remember I used to, when I would go dancing or something, I would safety pin it to my bra, no lie. And it would have it would have citrine, it would have the black onyx for protection. I can't remember what I've got in there now. But I do cleanse it by the full moon and the sun. I really believe that it does. See, there you go. I believe that it does both the both. I think I learned this from Tawny. That I told her, I said, yeah, I just like letting my stuff sit out in the sun too.
Oh yeah.
And I won't bring it in. I mean, when I set up my grids, I'll let them bask. And it's really interesting how scientifically they get charged. Now, I don't have one of those measures or something, but yeah, I do carry a satchel
Yeah.
everywhere I go. It's a little silk bag. Wow. I know
That's what.
put something on the back of their phone or in
Oh
the
yeah.
wall.
Saffron in the wallet will bring money. I actually. Oh no, 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 no. Sassafras. Sassafras herb in your wallet will bring money. I actually need to get some. But also, yeah, carrying shaman bags, satchels. These are helpful not just for spiritual energy. Let's say for protection. Let's just say you want to feel a certain way. you know, you put in the crystals that you want to feel nice and grounded with the shaman stone, adventuring for, just it's little things like this that we do that make our lives a little different because we are a little different. We're energetic beings. And that is, to me, it means a lot because I wasn't always an energetic being and I wasn't always as happy as I am today. I wasn't always as sober as I am today.
Wait,
And
I want to correct you right there before you go on. You have always been an energetic being, but we forgot. We
yeah,
forgot. And that's why we're remembering, John. Ever since we were born, took our first breath, we came of energy, love, and we birthed into this energy form. We've been, so I'm as your big sister, I'm going to call
yeah,
you out. You are energy. You have been energy, but we forgot. And that's what's so awesome about these podcasts, our circles, drum circles, coven circles, daughters of light, sisters of mystery house, all of these collective.
yes,
We're remembering. Remember.
true. And it does, it feels good. It feels good. And that can, like people who have the naysayers, it doesn't matter to me anymore. There was a time it used to bother me, and it doesn't matter. Call me woo woo, call me spiritual, call me delusional. I don't care. I like this life. And that's one thing that's a big spiritual protection is being confident in yourself.
Also, like that confidence, but something that Bob and I talked about this morning is, when we observe what people are doing and they haven't changed in 13 years, they haven't changed in 20. Bob said it so lovely this morning. He says, James, he goes, that's their getting and protecting behaviors. They don't know any better. And I said, wow, thanks. Thank you for helping me to see with your eyes, because you're right, they don't know. So I'm not here to bash anyone. I'm
Right.
not here to protect anyone. I'm here to just as an aging medicine woman, just to help you, just the simple things that we are enough. You are enough. I'm enough. Our
Yeah.
neighbor is enough. And so once we remember that we are this phenomenal energy, that we have control, we have choice to either get caught up in the mob mentality, poor me, woes me, what the F is going to happen tomorrow? Who the fuck cares? Because we don't know.
Right.
However, what about just the idea of saying, just for today, I'm just going to breathe in and I'm going to say, you know what? I'm going to listen to these two knuckleheads on this amazing thing that we don't even have to travel to talk, and say, let me give it a go. Let me pull out a mirror. Let me practice telling myself I am enough. Let me remember. One of the easiest ways to know your energy is, again,
Yeah.
rub your hands together, rub them. Oh my God! And then just slowly pull them apart.
Or
There's
just
energy.
yeah, and you can feel it. You can feel the buoyancy. Everyone in chat, try that. Give it a rub like Mr. Miyagi. Oh, right?
And slowly.
And then try to squeeze it without trying to squeeze it. And you could feel that buoyancy. And you can actually grow that. This is a magical practice. You can grow this buoyancy by blowing into it and then squishing it like dough, right? And the more you blow into it, the bigger it gets, and you keep giving it buoyancy. And then once you get it as big as you're comfortable with, surround yourself with that energy.
Mm,
That's a magical practice. And even in a like high magic, everything is about meditation. And in high magic, they'll meditate to get starting off with 5 feet around their whole entire up, below, side, all around. They want a bubble 5 feet around them. That's the starting point. And then as they grow, they try to get as big as their neighborhood just to feel their environment and become one with your environment. So it all starts right here, right
Yeah.
here.
Um, do you know also the energy workers, the people that are really renowned? They have a name, whether you believe in them or not. Um, Nostradamus, he was huge on meditating, and his was in the fire. He was he gazed into the flame of the he used to have with his students bonfires in the home in the where they stayed. And then there's others of us that we like to do the candle gazing. But Joe Dispenza, some friends just came to some energy workers just visited on Sunday, and they had just come back from a retreat. And this guy, I mean, it was $2,500.
Yeah.
This guy makes you meditate. And all the places, even the Beatles, they would go and stay in these ashrams. And all of this is silencing the mind. So why? So you can put, imagine you can listen to what is being said around you. And that's why when John keeps saying this meditation, it is such a wonderful practice that now I shifted gears because we're not talking about protection anymore. We're talking about energy. We're talking about your vital energy, which is a part of the fractal of me, which is a part of the fractal of John, which is the part of the fractal of our community. And when we stop and we become and just sit in the silence and just know the love and feel love. It's in my heart. It somehow touches me. So thank you. It touches John. It touches everyone we touch. So when we sit in meditation, even if you don't get out of bed right away by an alarm, and you even just sit there and just embrace and feel, take note of what's in your body. Is it tension? Let it go. Is it a warm feeling? Ooh, hold on to it.
Right.
But with just a meditation, and this guy, 55 hours. Could you imagine paying $2,500 for a week to have somebody have you sit in meditation for 55 hours for the week? I said, well, hell, for that half that price, I would have had you do it here in Checker.
Right.
But anyway, getting back to all the Emerson, all the great works and the writers, Socrates. Who else is that other? Deepak Chopra. I don't know who your guru is,
Yeah.
but if you stop and you pay attention to what of their practices of energy, it keeps coming back. Meditation, meditation, meditation.
It is.
Whatever whatever that looks like to you. Even sitting and lighting a candle, put a timer on the microwave. I don't care for 10 seconds. Just give yourself that moment for your mind to tap in.
That's the best energy work. And she's right. All of these $5,000 a weekend courses, all of them are going to make you sit in silence. They're going to bring you right back to the simplest teaching, and you're going to go, I paid 5 grand for this? Like,
Oh,
wow.
but don't get me wrong. But now guess what? They're practicing meditation twice a day,
Yeah.
by the way.
Well, yeah, you pay 2,500 bucks. You're gonna. All right. I guess it's time I meditate.
They're
But
not the
there is
only.
value.
Look
There's
at
value.
Baba Ganesh, and look at all the gurus. Look at the monks. Look at Ram Dass. Look at all of them. All the great, the
Even Albert Einstein and Tesla and Mozart, all of these people, anyone who's done anything great has had some form of meditation. Albert Einstein used to imagine himself riding beams of light, like a horse riding the beam of light. And this is and he would walk meditate. He would walk back and forth in his study all by himself. This is and it is, and there is value in these people like Joe Dispenza. I don't knock spending the money to go there, because guess what you just did? You just energetically told the universe, I am this committed to this. I am ready. And so paying the prices actually opens a floodgate to you. It's not so much what they're teaching. Like, I'm not knocking them. It's not like, oh, you could learn meditation. No, you just opened the floodgate between Joe Dispenza and you for all of that. I'm ready. Give it to me. You committed to something, and it works.
And that's what I'm learning too. I'm taking um, a channel course, if you will, on Thursday mornings, and the messages keep coming. They keep saying, ask. And when you allow yourself, and just like you open the portal, when you sit down, they're ready. They're waiting. They've been waiting for umpteen years, you guys, for you to say, well, I'm tired of getting hit by the 2x4. I don't know why all this stuff is happening to me. When am I going to get a break? I mean, come. No, 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 no. Those days are over. Zip it.
Right?
Zip it. Turn the page, or better yet, take that book of your story and put it on the shelf. You could dust it off and you can pull it down anytime. But now reach over and grab a new book and
Yeah.
grab a new book and say, okay, for 2026, I am going to shed the last part of what doesn't. I wrote to you this morning, what doesn't serve me. I'm like, serve? I don't like that word. That's a very difficult word for me right now. So I'm going to go a little deeper to contemplate that for myself. Um, but what is not empowering me? What is not igniting the world? What is not lifting the world to the magnificent? I was telling somebody yesterday, a life reflection in tears. There is so much good provided on this planet. It would take us 100 lifetimes to see it all.
Yeah.
Wow. So instead of focusing on this itty bitty little bad air and keep giving all that bad air to something that's drowning and I need you to feed me because it's the way. No, 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 no. Turn around and take a breath of fresh air with a new book, with a new group of people, with a new practice of putting a mirror on a direction that you think somebody's sending you bad juju. I don't care, because guess what? The biggest thing of all is we have been given free will. We
Yeah.
get the choice. You get to choice to feed the bad air, which is starving, because bad air is better than no air at all.
Right.
Bad air is better than no air at all.
Yeah.
Or you can just say, no, I'm going to go to a cleaner island. I'm
Right.
going to sit myself with people that know that there is a paradise. I know your heart knows when you listen. Your
Yeah.
heart knows, man.
I always make the joke, like, you if you're in an elevator, if someone farts in your elevator, you don't want them riding up and down with you. Because like you said, if bad air, no, we don't want that bad air. And that's where our spiritual hygiene is really important. We have a few viewers in here that we have Amix said hello, Jenna Sparkles, hello, and George Kiros, what's up, buddy?
Hey,
And
George.
I am so sorry for that last. I do not know how to read. Looks like I don't know, but thank you for coming in, and
Yeah.
hello. He says crazy, crazy, insane. The energy can be crazy, insane sometimes, and I think
Yeah.
that's when once we get to that point where we're actually starting to live, when we go beyond the realms of the norm.
Well, can I pull a card today before you? I had a calling, and I thought, because I like oracle cards, I'm still practicing tarot. But I got this set. Um, Darlene Mia turned me on to this, and I noticed that a couple of the light workers have this set. It's the cosmic cards, and they're activation cards. And so I went and I cleansed them, me and my Shasta girl, and I just wanted to maybe just start the week because there has a lot of been even our housekeepers came. We stood in a circle, which was really quite innate. I mean, natural is beautiful, and we shared shared our tears, our nonstop flowing. And so my understanding is it's still all that old stuff from kindergarten. It's that bully in 8th grade. It's that ex-husband or ex-wife that come up. There's all of this in it. We have these bodies, so it's gonna release or it's going to lock down and create tumors, disease,
Yes.
inflict a lot of dis-ease. So having these tears are good. So anyway, I thought there's been a lot of us in the group that have had these tears that are just where are they coming from? But it's part of our body saying, oh, guess what? We are moving. Our DNA is changing. And we could talk about that on another one. We are evolving. We
Yeah.
are a species is evolving. We are not dumbed down anymore. We don't have to feed I don't have to pay attention to the media who's been in practice for hundreds of years to tell people what they want them to know, not all the story. So yeah, I just know that I have this calling to maybe activate the cosmic and see what is it that we can generate for this next 7 days until John and I get together. And so tell me when to stop, John.
Okay. And stop.
What is it? Ooh, are you ready? Can you see it?
Strength. Oh, look at that tiger. Raja.
Yes, but it's a white tiger. They're very different. They're very different. So I will put in the chat what the description is, so I don't take time from you. But yeah, and I don't know how to put a picture, but it's the number 30.
30. So boils down to three. Three is actually the number of bringing spirit into matter. Even in Hebrew, Aleph plus A, B, and C. 1, 2, 3. Father, mother, child. So it's number three is about bringing something from spirit into creation and then birthed into matter. That's what the number three stands for. And strength, I like. Oh, okay.
That's for the whole week. That's for the whole week, everyone.
And
After you subscribe and click the little bell so that you get our notifications and John's everyday notification.
I just got a it's still ringing, really. And when I closed my eyes, I kind of saw a figure that kind of looked like Bart Simpson, but it didn't have the. Anyways, let's see. I'll pull some cards. I was going to tell you too. Yesterday, I was shuffling my decks and I got World card. And believe me, this was not studied. World card
I love it.
and World card. 3 decks. So
Oh,
what that
guess what's on the bottom of my deck? I've never done that, but you said to. Guess what that is?
transformation. Ooh, that is a
So
beautiful card.
the world card, and it's just affirming the strength, and there's a transformation.
Absolutely. So that was during the shuffles on the last shuffle when I was done on each one of those decks. I got the world card and I go, oh, okay. So it represents something that you've been working at for a very long time, right?
Oh,
Putting in the effort and it's finally coming to completion. But with that completion is the whole birth of what's coming from all of this hard work, right? So, what have you been working on over the last year? Because the world does actually represent 1 year in the tarot. When you're divinating with tarot, the world card, take a look at last year from today. What was the tower moment? A sudden realization is what the tower moment stands for. What have you overcome and what is complete from last year? Let's see here. Let's shuffle these up. Nine of Pentacles. Have you found yourself financially independent or at least able to do things on your own? And are you satisfied? Emotional completion. 10 of Cups. Happy love. Let's see. Let's see what our cards say. I'll just pull three. We're going to do a past, present, and future. What do we have for the past? Ooh, so some betrayal may have came up. 10 of Swords inverted represents you might have remembered some kind of betrayal that happened last year. And maybe it did knock you down. It's definitely something that puts you at the end of your rope. And how is that now? That helped you overcome your shadows and move forward in your light. Turned you into a force to be reckoned with, the Chariot card, where you now come with a little more conviction in your story. So this betrayal that you remembered from last year has built you into a warrior. And what can we see for your future? Aha, working with the angels. Working with paradoxes. So this is a card of understanding that the other side, the invisible realm, they're working for your benefit. You see how Archangel Michael here, he's mixing these drinks because you don't want a drink that has too much alcohol. You don't want it to be too sweet and you don't want it to have just too much water. So that is how you look at the Temperance card. You've got two major arcanas here too. So whatever hurt you in the past is what made you into this divine light being that you are now. And expect to be independently wealthy, someone who can take care of things on their own. That's what I got for you. I love it. I love it. Well, Jamie, you got any? Oh, you know what? Tell us about your Valentine's
Yeah,
retreat.
cute. We're doing a retreat on Valentine's. Katie and I are doing it here at Shangri-La. It's an overnighter. I'll leave the write-up in the comments later. It's for singles or couples. We have a whole entire from 3 o'clock on Friday afternoon, February 13th, until about 3 or 4 o'clock on Valentine's Day. So you still have some chance to do something, but this is for yourself. And we have a swag bag that will knock your socks off. We have tools that you get to take home with you to practice for the year of the Love Starts Within. That's the name. So it's $222, but that includes the meals, the overnight stay. It also, we were doing a lot of different workshops, if you will. Yeah, we were really excited. We put pencil to the paper back in October and put everything together. So that'll be coming up. I'll send it the link to Eventbrite. And yeah, if you need a workout of just sending instead of one whole big chunk, just reach out to me or Katie. We're really happy to help. But we have decided going in with this year that we have foundational exchange, meaning that we anybody who knows this, we're not doing this for the money. I mean, I already told everybody on Sunday, I would pay you guys to come here because I know what my work is. I know what my mission is. And my mission is to help those go out into the world and just keep radiating that light, man. So anyway, it's our first one. And then we have one in May, and then one in August. I'm shooting this camp out in August in Mount Charleston. So we're pretty excited.
Okay. And Leela, may I ask about a love reading? Sure, I could pull a couple cards for you. Let's see. we'll do. I want to get one of these cards. Have you done your shadow work before you ask about love? The cards asked, "Have you done your shadow work?"
Oh,
Oh, okay. I can't make this up. There's a secret admirer in your midst, so you may not understand, or you might be someone's secret admirer, and it might have had a false start, but you're going to get a big break on this. Let's pull some tarot and see what's going on. Hidden affection, anonymous notes, unknown interest. Someone is watching you. So either you are a secret admirer of somebody, or someone is admiring you, and you haven't seen it yet. Let's see here. What do we got? Okay, this thing will start small, but it'll be in truth. So take your time when you meet this person. They have a heavy load on their shoulders. They are carrying a lot right now, and they are in need of a release. And I think you charging in is going to help them with that release. Knight of Wands. Sorry, I'm getting all kinds going through my head at this moment. So let's see. You coming in, or one of you is going to come in and release this burden from the other and take things slow from that point. Oh, High Priestess. This is a Cancer card. So this is the first major arcana of the deck. It represents the zodiac sign of Cancer, and it's talking about using your intuition, or it also is a card of viewing somebody. So this definitely backs up the secret admirer card.
I think it's already in play because the fact that she asked the question, the priestess card she's already asked the question, can you pull a love card? So I'm telling myself something else is already, the vibration or the energy is already in the space, if you
Yeah.
will. The fact that that the priestess card came up, so she's already asking, because she asked, what about the love cards? Can you pull a love card? I
Yeah,
don't know.
I think this is coming to fruition really soon. The High Priestess card is really just channel your intuition, trust your feelings, and expect this to come into fruition really soon. It'll make you both happy, very happy. So that's what I got for you, Leela. Thank you
Yeah,
for asking.
good for you. Good for you.
All right. To be honest, I thought about Lee. Okay.
See, I knew her intuition was already in motion because she asked the question on the love cards out of
Right.
all the things you have. So, anyway, thank
You're
you so
welcome.
much. This is a lot of fun.
Yeah, I had a lot of fun too, Jamie. Thank you again. And for all of you out there, thank you for your time and coming into the chat room. And for all of you watching later, thanks for tuning in. This is what it really does make it feel grateful. I'm very grateful to have all you guys that watch this channel. It helps me get through. That's what a lot of my week, the heaviness was, is like, what am I doing? Why am I doing this? And Jamie had to remind me, we're doing this because we have a mission. It is enlightening. It does feel good. It does feel good to me. I love reading the tarot. I love talking with Jamie every week. And I love all of you guys out there. And I've seen some really good changes lately. So thank you for your time. You guys are what make this channel.
Remember, this isn't for, if this doesn't resonate with you, that's no problem. I mean, everybody doesn't, I mean, my husband hates eggplant. So there's a certain thing, some things we just don't like. They don't resonate with you. But just listen, and maybe you'll have a friend, and there'll be some nugget will come up, and they're like, oh, you know what? I just heard something about this the other day, and here's the link. If you could share the link, that would be great. So just take what you need and leave what you don't. We really, really are grateful that you even just consider the fodder that we talk about.
Yeah, absolutely. Thank you guys. And I will see you all next week. And till I start uploading some more videos, I'll see you again. Take care. Bye, Jamie.
All right, be safe, everyone.
Oh, I'm glad it resonated, Leela. Thank you for asking it. I love pulling the tarot cards, to be honest with you. All right. Bye, everybody.